I'm going to show you how to create a simple cinematic using Mixamo animation in one of its characters. So this is the character that I'm going to use, and I will get some animation, and then I will launch Unreal 5.5. I'm sorry, 5.44 doing that. So first thing in here, I'm just going to download this character, and you want to make sure it is in T-pose. Do that. So I'm going to download. Next, what I want to do here is I'm going to get a walk sequence. Oops, I'll make sure I'm in animations, not characters. So this character here. And then when you are selecting an animation, you want to make sure that you hit in place because we are going to animate the transform. And also when you're looking at your character, depending on the type of character you have, you want to make sure that the arms or leg doesn't go through it. And it kind of looks like it does here a little bit, but so you could just make the arm a little wider. So like that. Well, it looks good. And then I'm going to download. And when you do download here, you can download with the skin, but you can do it without skin. And this will save memory on your computer. And then next in here, maybe I forgot, maybe we have an idle position. It walks into an idle position. Let me see here. Maybe happy idle. A bit too happy. Let me slow this down. Nah, that's a little bit too much. I'm just going to use the breathing heavy here. And looking at the arms, it looks fine. I'm going to hit download. And without skin. And then maybe from the idle, it will go in some kind of dance thing. So I'm just search for dance. And here we go. What would be a cool dance to have? How about we do the Macarena? You can never have enough Macarena. Sure, does it go through? Let's close. And then if you have Motion Builder or like iClone, you can always get precise movement here. Or in Maya, whatever, you do like layers animation. That looks fine. So I'm going to download here without skin. You can actually see here that usually the dance ones, they don't have a choice of in place. So I just hit download here. So the next thing here, what I want to do now is I'm going to launch Unreal here. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to start a blank page. And then I'm going to rename this Awesome Sin. And then I will just start and make sure I save the proper place and then hit create. All right, we started it here. I'm going to close this down. I'm going to make a new map, new level. And I'm going to use this basic one with this ground here. And I'm going to make a folder in here. And this folder will be my animations. This is where I import my animations and character. And I'm going to make another folder, and this will be my maps. So usually what you want to do here is you want to save your map before create a sequence, because sequence is usually associated with that map. Call this level, oops, level 1 or cinematic. All right, so I'm going back to my animations here, and now I'm going to right click. And the first thing what you want to do here is you want to import your character, and then you will import your animation that was associated towards your character. So I'm going to right click and hit import. And I'll go to downloads. And the one that I did should be, it's this one here, character 20, because that's the number here. So I want to rename this to T-pose motor dude, or I don't know, person. And do that. Import. So let's see here. Make sure I choose it. There we go. Make sure I choose it. I had the one name here. Open. And then from here, you want to leave this to default because I know that for Mixamo, it is the correct size. And if you do need to change the size, supposedly import the character, you can change the scale in here. Import uniform scale. Oftentimes, not oftentimes, but if you go to like Sketchpad and get a character from there, sometimes the character might be too small for the world. So you have to change the size in here. But if you are comfortable opening Maya, Blender, Cinema 4D, and so on, you can change it in there. Ideally is that when you import, you want to have the correct size. And if you do that, change the size here, you do have to change the size of the animation because the animation be shorter, be for either shorter legs, shorter arms, or longer arms. So I'm going to hit here and import. And when you do import, you will get 3 files here. And also you get the textures. These are the 3 files you will get. You will get the, this is the character, this is the T-mesh right here, doing that. And this is the skeleton mesh here associated, and then you will get the physics maps. And then here you can see the physics of the character, when how it lands, you do ragdoll. And then also you get the skeleton pose here. This is all the skeleton joints in here. You can do that. And this is where you usually add a like a socket here. So if you go near to left hand here, if you want to add like a like a flag or something like that, or a coffee cup, whatever here. And this in here you do like socket. So, but we are going to do that later on. So, but for now, we're just doing a simple cinematic. I'm going to hit here, hit save all. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a folder inside my animation folder here. And this is where I store all my materials and textures because otherwise this gets very super filled up. So I'm going to right click, choose folder, I'm going to call it matte. And then what I'm going to do here is that I'm going to take these over here and I'm going to drag it into the matte folder. And when you do that, you get this option, move here or copy here. I want to move here, not copy. If you did copy here, these will still remain here and there'll be new ones in this folder, but just hit move here. Next in here is that I want to import my animations now. So I'm right click, import animations, and we can import all of them at the same time. So I'm going to choose the breathing, Macarena, and walking. And then I'm going to hit open. And then here, you can see that it automatically found the person associated, but sometimes it doesn't find that. And then once again in here, if you scroll down here, go to advanced. If you did have a different size here of animation, you want to make sure you change the uniform scale here. But that's fine for now. I'm just going to hit import all. Okay, and they're imported, so you can see that these are not saved yet. So if I go in here and go to save all, when I do that, these stars disappear. So now, let's open up the Macarena, and here we can see we have the animations in the Unreal right now. It's idle, and here's the walking. Okay, so next we want to create our sequence. So if we go up here to the clapper, and this is where we will add the skeleton, but before I do that, we need to put this person into the world. So I want to go in here, drag, make sure you drag the skeleton mesh into the world, and also with this pink little line across it. Drop it in there. And then now we create the sequence. Oh, you could do either way, but that's fine. So I go in here, you have two options here. You have the add level sequence and the add level sequence with shots. Basically what this one is, it adds the shots for you or the camera for you, but I'm going to do everything manually. So I'm just going to choose the add level sequence, and I'm going to name this to motor underscore SEQ for sequence. And I'm going to put it into my animation folder right here. Save. So did that. So now you can see it created this kind of like a timeline here. So what I'm going to do here now is that I'm going to hit rewind. And then what you want to do here now is you want to grab the skeleton mesh, this one in the world, from your outliner, and then just drag it into your sequencer right here. When you do that, it creates these like animation and a transform. So what we're going to do now here is that we are going to have a walk first, and then it goes to Dynamo and then to dancing. So when I click this plus sign right here, and this will allow me to choose the animation. So I'm going to choose the walking underscore 2. There we go. So when you hit play, it walks. So to make this longer here is that all you have to do here is to hover your mouse over and then just drag, and then it will start looping. So now we hit play, you can see it's doing a longer walk. So to make this timeline bigger, we want to move this right here. So I hover over so we can go, oops, sorry, wrong way. I went the wrong way. I meant to do the other way. Sorry about that. I meant to do this one here. So there we go. And then go something like up to 450. So right now, let me see, it goes here. Just make it a little longer. Maybe up to 120. Something like that. Okay. So now, if you hold your control wheel, I'm using my control, and then my middle mouse, I can scroll here in the sequence. So now what you have to do here is we have to move it, animate it. So I'm going to move it in here and rewind this. So to move this in here, if you click this little arrow box here, you can see here you can animate the location, rotation, and scale. I am going to do the location. So the first thing you have to do to add a key there is just click this little plus sign here. It says add plus here, or you can hit enter on your keyboard. And it created these key nodes, and these are ease in, ease out. We really don't want that, but I'm going to leave it there so you can see what happens, and I'll show you how to change this to linear, because linear, you will get this one constant movement. So now I want to move my timeline up here to 118, for example, and I'm going to move it something like this, and then I hit key here. So now we have to time the leg. So now I can show you what happens here. So now if I hit play here, you can see it's gliding forward. So it's going too fast. Doing that. So we probably have to make this timeline a little bit longer. But if the feet are dragging behind, it is too slow. So, and also you can see here what happens in the beginning. See how kind of it slows in the beginning and speeds up at the end, and that's what I was talking about. We need to change that. So I'm going to hit stop here and hit rewind. So we hover over your keyframe here. You're going to right click over it and then choose linear. So now when we start, it is one continuous move. So now we're going to do our best to make this a smoother walk, or it doesn't slide as much. So if you click this, this will go to your second key. So I want to grab here and drag this forward maybe to 210. And then we take your keyframe and move it in here like that. Let's see how this looks like. There we go. But it's still a little glide. A little at the end there, a little bit too much. I mean to do that. And now let's see here. So now if I hit play here, you can see it's gliding forward. So it's going too fast. Doing that. So we probably have to make this timeline a little bit longer. But if the feet are dragging behind, it is too slow. So Yeah, we can make it a little longer. Let's see here, let's go to 2, so like that. See, now I'm actually sliding backwards here. That's the new walk there. Going too much here. So it's kind of, you have to go back and, oh, it's also snapping is on there. Let's turn snapping on here. There we go. Little glide forward. Oop. And you can sit there and tinker until you get it perfect. Like that. I got a little too fast here. There we go. That looks almost perfect. So now you'll get the second animation here now. So I want to go in here, and a lot of times what people do here, they want to see the skeleton where it ends. And also you get this little dot right here, just like Motion Builder and iClone. To do that, you right click on this mocap right here, or this animation, and then you go to properties. And then here in the properties here, this is where you can change the play rate. If you make the animation go faster or slower, you can see how many frames it has for this certain walk right here. And this here, you can actually, if you had same for Mixamo, you can change the not Mixamo, you can change the animations in here as well if you wanted to. So, but we want in here to show skeleton. So click that. So now when you do that, you can see that it has a dot there doing that. So in the next animation you get, when you put it in, we can actually fit it in there perfectly right now. So I'm going to go in here, and then I'm going to go once again, click here, animation. And when I do this, is actually going to put the animation on another timeline. But what I am going to do is I'm going to take that animation, drag it up to this timeline, and then I'm going to mix it. And let me show what I'm talking about. I'm going to do breathing. And then here, if I go like this, well, actually, it didn't do that. Usually it does. I think it's in 5.4 doesn't do this. So now I'll be mixing it in here. So you go in here. That's pretty smooth. Okay, it looks pretty good. Another thing, if your animation is looking kind of, if there's a twist like that, if the twist like that is like a weird direction, you might have to go select one the previous or the new animation, and then you might have to match to the previous clip, and you want it to select most of the time to the hips doing that. Or like, for example, if I go here to the next clip, so if I click this one and just go to next clip and go right click and match it to the hips, you can see now it matched to the hips here. So you can see this is what I'm talking about, offset here. You might get this weird thing here. So I'm going to undo that. But I'm not going to do that because I am getting the right direction where I want my mocap to go. So like that. And then next in here, we want to add the Macarena. So I'm going to, don't make this too long. Go in here. He's breathing. Yeah, I feel like dancing now. I'm bringing this down here. Oh, make sure I grab this. So shorten the animation here. So now I do the same thing. Hit the plus sign, and then I do the Macarena. See here, now I put it into the second timeline, but if this is closed, it would just put it into the same timeline. But I'm just grab this, no big deal, drag it up, and then like that, and now it's dancing Macarena. Okay. So now what you have to do here to get the this out of here or get the animation working, we want to get a cinema camera into the scene itself. To do that, I'm going to click this little arrow here, and then go into your cinematics right here, and 90% you would choose this camera, cinematic camera actor. So I click that, and it comes into this timeline here, and you can see that is in the scene here. So if I bring it over here, and you can see that here's the character. But the better way to control this camera is to, if I right click on the camera here, And then in the camera here, it says Pilot Cinematic Camera, or you hit Control-Shift-P. So when I do that, you can see that now I'm inside the camera. It says Pilot Actor. So now I can move around here in the camera. So, but we also want this camera to be part of this timeline. So what we have to do here now is just grab this camera, drop it into the timeline. And so now in the timeline here, so now we want to animate the camera. Go rewind. And then in here, I'm going to just kind of start off right here. And just like the character moving, we have the options here to locate, rotation, scale. But I'm just going to go click this right here, the animate. Oops, sorry, not animate. I hit the wrong one. I hit the animation. I want to go into my camera. Make sure you click the right transform. So here it is. This is associated with the camera. So when I click that, as you can see that it created the same thing here. To fix that in here, so I don't have to do this always ease in, ease out, I can just choose this. So now if I undo this, make sure that, okay, make sure that here, go ahead and I click. Now you can see that it has the linear. So maybe right now it is falling like this. Kind of rotate, maybe move it here like that. And hit transform. So now I'm following the camera. Breathe in. And then maybe we have the camera to kind of move up like that. And then hit transform. So like that. It has to easily slowing like that. And then when you go into Macarena, maybe goes over here. Transform. And then maybe goes right to the head right here. You can see this out of focus. We need to fix that. So click here. So now you can see here how does it look like. I can okay. So you can move the keyframes here. So I'm thinking, I guess out here it is full frame like this. There we go. I like the little hop at the end. Okay, so now let's deal with the focusing here. So when you are focusing, doing that, a lot of times it does help if you change the scale right now. Right now I'm on medium here. You can set to high or epic, and that gives you more sense of depth. If you have good proper light in there, it always looks better. But medium will work. I want to do high here for now. So now to focus there, so there's a couple ways you can do this here. So if we go in here to the camera, and then also in the camera, what you want to do here, which I forgot to do, is that I want to change the film back of the camera. Right now it's doing 16 by 19. So if I choose this to something more familiar to you guys, would be a DSL cameras, which is like a film back and it has exchangeable lenses. I want to choose that. And then in here also here, my lenses here, I'm going to choose whatever lens I want. And I want to get a 85 millimeter. When I do that, you can see that I get like this depth of field here. So to focus this in here, so you can do the manual or we can do the water eyedroppers. So you go in here to focusing setting. So the first thing in here, you can change here. This is the manual focus distance. This is the distance from your back of your sensor of your camera and then whatever distance is out here. So right now it's set to 100,000 centimeters. So if I bring it smaller down here, probably like my camera. Actually, I am going to change this to back to medium. I can tell my computer is kind of chugging. There we go. Yeah, you can see that the quality did change a little bit there. So went too far there. There we go. So now you can see it. I'm in focus here, about 500 centimeters. You can also add this here, the debug here. So this here is actually the plane of focus. And oftentimes you want this to be the character right at the plane here, something like that. So the other way you can focus here is that if sometimes it doesn't work at the time here. So you can see here, you can use this water droplet here, an eyedropper here. So click that in scene, you can see that now it will focus in just in that place right now. So I'm going to hit a keyframe here, and that will actually animate my focusing like that. And then I'm going to scroll down here, make sure that I'm in focus the whole time, and hit keyframe. And then you can see here, I'm a little bit out of focus here. I get a nice little depth of field there. Did I get it? Let me see here. Turn it on D. Yeah, a little behind here. So like that. And then hit focus. So usually when you move the camera back and forth like this, you can see now it's, it's right in the crotch there, but let's get out of the crotch there. Let's go something like that. Headshot. Better. Grab my key here. And oops. Make sure I'm keying it right there. Oh, why am I not working here? Oh, I am right. Sorry. I'm still actually focusing. Apologize. It's like, why is it not keying? I just focusing. Now grab the eye droplets and make sure I hit the key here. And then zoom out here. Something like that. And then I use the water droplets. I mean eye droplets. There we go. I just separated there. There we go. Okay. So now I got this animation going here. So breathing. Let's go. Do the Macarena dance. This award-winning Oscar cinematics right here. Zoom out here. Oh, looks good. All right. So now, how do we get it out to the like as an MP4 or a QuickTime? So if you hit this clapper, it's going to open up to the legacy. I don't want that, but I can show you what it looks like. So this is what I want. This is, manually like that. So right now it does an AVI. I want something that's more usable, like a QuickTime. So I'm going to close this down. And then before I do anything is I'm going to hit save all. Unreal will crash and will not be your friend. So we need to add a plugin here now. So to get the Apple ProRes or the QuickTime or MP4, you want to go into your plugins right now. So click your plugins, and then you want to type in Apple. And the one we are looking for is the ProRes Media right here. This one right here, Apple ProRes Media. Doing that. And this will get me 444 or proxy forwards, do that. And then as I click this, you can see that it wants me to restart the engine and make sure I saved it before I did that. Hit restart. And then what's going to happen here is, which I forgot to set, is that it's going to load up to the default map. And I should have set in the settings to load up in level 1. Okay. So you can see that load up the other map here. And then if I open up the sequence here, I can show you what it's going to look like. You can see that it is all broken here like that. So to fix that, we need to open up the level. So let's go into my maps, open level 1 here. And then to fix this, so if you want to, when it does restart, we want to go into your project settings here. And then in here, maps under modes, you want to click this. And then here we can see the editor startup map. Right now it's set to the open world. That's what it opened up to. You're going to set it to level 1. And then the default map, of course, as well will be level 1 as well. So now next time when it restarts, it will open up to the correct level. So now let's go into our animations, and then we'll click the clapper. Now, when we click that, you can see that it's not red now. It's now associated with that. So to get this out now is that we can just click, we click this camera, and this is what the camera was looking through here. So you can see that this is what we just created. So all you have to do is click this little clapper, and you can see that now it's different. It loads this up. And this is the sequence that we have created. So we go in here, this is the sequence that we created. You could have many different sequences to choose that you want to render out. And right now it is currently being rendered out here. So you can see that sequence 1 here. If you go in here, and here's the sequence, and this is the name of it. So now we open this up. And in here, what you want to do here is you want to check this JPEG first time. Unless you want to create a JPEG sequence, which actually does look better than the MP4 sometimes. But for now, I'm doing the easiest way. Uncheck that. And then in here, the settings here now, this is what we want. We want the Apple ProRes, and that's the plugin that we activated. So when you click that, and now we get the codec choices here. Now here we can choose the different types of res. The one that is probably the best one here is the 4222, and this is the lowest version, and this is the highest version doing that. What that means is that this will have a lot more million colors, and this probably be in like a couple of gigabytes. And then this here be kind of like the normal size that we are used to from filming on iPhones or Androids, something like 40 or 50 or 80 megs doing that. So we're going to select that. And then we want to set how many frames, keyframes it had, and doing that. So in here, you can see that this is the size of the resolution we're doing right now. We're doing 1920 by 1080. And then if you want to change your frame rate, you're welcome to do that. So right now, I'm just going to do the default so you get more like a cinematic look to it. And then here, this right here says override existing output. I always uncheck this because I like to have multiple different scenes and compare the animation, how the cameras are moving. It's always, I think it's good not to have that checked. So down here, this is the number of keyframes that we want to enter. Use custom playback range. And I do not remember what we had. We hit cancel, move this up. We have, how many frames did we have? 498. So we'll go in here to use custom playback to type in 498. Hit accept. And now we want to hit render local. So when you do that, it's going to open up this. And now we just have to wait until it gets done. And then we can see that if you look at this here, we actually can see that the camera that we're using, cinematic camera. And then you can see here which frames it is rendering right now. Okay, so now it got done. So now let's find this cinematic. So I'm going to close this down, and where it does store, if I go into my Unreal folder here, go into Documents, and then you go into wherever you have started your Unreal projects, and then this right here, it's Awesome Cinematic. And then where it does save it is in the Saved, and then in the Render Movie Renders. Oh, looks like I did sequence by accident here. I got to check that. Oh, yeah, I forgot to check that. So this is what it looks like with the sequence images. Because remember, I restarted it. All right, let's go back here to this once again. go back into your thing here and then make sure I choose the correct one. So if you go in here now, you can see that. Yep, you can see that I forgot to change this. And then also in here, I need to choose the Apple ProRes. So this is why you should always check twice. So now I'm here, check twice, JPEG is unselected. Everything in here looks fine. Hit accept. And now I hit render again. And now hopefully we just get the MP4. There we go. Now let's look at one more time here. Open up your folder here. Go to your documents. Scroll down to your Unreal folder. And then open that up. Oops, sorry, that is the wrong folder. That's my tutorials. Go in here. Awesome cinematics. We can do this. Hit saved. Movie renders. And there's my sequence here. So open that up. See what it looks like. There we have it. There is my Oscar-winning cinematic here. So that is how you do it. If you have any questions in class, please let me know, and I'll be happy to do that. And thanks for watching, and hit subscribe and like. Take care. Bye-bye.